What is up, guys, and welcome back to Too Much Tech. And in today's video, we're going to be reviewing the Vertagear PL4800 chair. This is a gaming and office chair that, if you want to, it can also feature some RGB lighting right around this area and also at the base. Now, if you get all the RGB lighting, you're basically going to be doubling the cost of the chair. But this chair starts at around $580, and this one is going to be rated for people that are about 5'8" or 9, all the way up to people that are 6'6", and it does support up to 360 pounds. I'm 5'11" and I weigh about 225, and one thing that I really appreciate about this chair is just the fact that the base of the chair as well as the upper level is just a lot more flat, and the bolsters are not super concave and they don't necessarily lock you in that way. And by lock you in, I mean lock you in terms of dimensions, because the material that they use in the middle of this chair, this suede-like material that's almost like sitting in a sports car with Alcantara, this material locks you in place, not the dimensions of the chair. So really nice, because you get a really firm and secure feeling, like you don't feel like you're gonna slide around in the chair if you do some small movements or adjustments in terms of your seating position, unless you mean to really adjust the way that you're sitting for comfort. Once you found that comfy spot, basically this is gonna be doing a great job at holding on to you, keeping you in place in terms of just the material not sliding around on the chair. Speaking of the material, again, you got this suede material right here in the middle, and then along the side you also have PUC, which is like their version of leatherette. More or less, it's a fake leather that is pretty nice. I really don't have any complaints about it. The colorway that I got is called Midnight Blue, so you do have these black and blue accents as well as the yellow stitching or gold stitching. It looks really nice. I'm a big fan of blue. Yellow, I'm not really too keen on, but I do think that it looks good on this chair in this combination. But they do also have this available in 5 other colors. So you have a total of 6 colors that are available. And again, if you're not okay with the colors, just get a generic color like black or white and get that RGB kit. You can make it whatever color you want. Now, as far as the build quality and features of the chair, this is going to be very similar to a lot of other chairs in its price range at, that $500 to $600 mark. More or less, you're going to have a nice steel frame that does feel very sturdy. The installation only took about 25 minutes, so it's very quick and easy to do. I didn't have any complaints really about the installation process. It was pretty quick and straightforward. And you can definitely tell this is a nice heavy duty chair. Like whenever you spin around in it or you're sitting down in the chair, there's no creaking, no cranking, no nothing. Everything about it is just built to last. And they do also back it up with a 10-year warranty from Vertagear, which is pretty nice. Now, you also do have an aluminum frame as well as these coasters. And not gonna lie to you guys, I mean, like on regular floor, the coasters are really fine. They're pretty quiet, they're very good. But on really tall carpet, I have yet to find coasters on any chair that do a great job as far as rolling around on carpet without having a mat. So if you have high carpet and you don't want to deal with, kind of doing the whole chair scoop, more or less you got to get a mat and put it on your carpet so that you can roll around. Personally, I don't really like those, so I just get used to dealing with it, to be honest. But that's just something you're gonna have to be aware of. If you got low carpet, that's a little bit more on the mat side or maybe the commercial side, you'll be just fine. But if you got really tall carpet, like most people do have that cushy, comforty carpet in their house, you're gonna have to deal with it or get a mat for your chair. This headrest up here is also really nice. It's very easily removable. It's just got this rubber band at the back. You just slide it on. And because of the suede material, it does a great job at locking it in place. So you can leave it down here. You can move it up a little bit. This is usually where I have it, where I found it to be really comfortable, because right here, like the upper part of my neck kind of rests on it, and it's just really nice. There is a good thing and a bad thing about the way they have the lumbar system on this chair. So unfortunately, there's no adjustments to the lumbar, and that was one thing that I really liked about the DX Racer Craft series. Even though the actual mechanism that they had wasn't necessarily great or the best, or adaptable, as I'll say, as compared to how robust the Vertagear chair system seems. But online, it looks like it has a ton more adjustments, and you would think that since they got this great technology that they've put into the Contour Max lumbar system that they advertise on their chairs, it's just not as plush as I would like it to be. Like the memory foam is very dense, and it's dense and nice, the fact that it's very cool and it does not collect a lot of heat. But the problem is when you're sitting down in the chair, it's comfortable at first, but I don't feel like the lumbar is perfectly positioned enough for me, I do wish that the lumbar was up a little bit higher, or if I could just decrease the amount that it's actually giving me as far as support, and it was adjustable similar to the DX Racer Craft, and just had a little dial right here that I could spin and adjust the level of the lumbar, I could get it to be a lot more comfortable for me. But personally, it's just a little bit too dense, so I don't really find it that useful. I would rather have this section honestly be flat and have my own smaller pillow, or include a smaller pillow that I can just move up and down to get to the perfect position. And with this chair having that Alcantara base right here in the middle, the part that you actually sit, I feel like that would also be another good solution, but it probably would also decrease the cost quite a bit, so it would be in a little bit of a different tier. But with this build quality, I would be fine getting this exact same build quality for less money and having a physical lumbar system that I can adjust. But more or less, if it was built in like the DX Racer Craft, I could give it a pass at the full, $580 that the chair is right now. Now, the bottom portion of the chair, they call this the VertaAir seat, and basically it stays a lot cooler than a lot of other chairs that I've used. Between the material that you're actually sitting on that does not collect heat compared to having, a full leather or leatherette chair, having this nicer suede material does not collect a lot of heat, and also they have holes basically cut into the foam to make it a little bit more breathable and whatnot to expel some of that heat when you're sitting for a while. And it does work very well. If you live in a hot climate, honestly speaking, this is a great chair to have. But if you live in a cooler climate, you're probably better off with a leather chair. If you are typically in a very cold room, at least your chair will be kind of warm. But personally, even if it is cold outside, I would rather have my chair be cool as well, so I don't mind the fact that this chair does such a great job at staying cool. Now, as far as the rest of the design, the back of it is going to be pretty basic. Right here is just where you're going to mount your RGB module. And you can also mount an RGB module underneath the chair on the bottom of the base as well, which is quite nice if you want to have some RGB shining on the floor. I kind of think that that part of it is a waste of money, because unless you're at like a LAN party or you got people over your house or someone in the room hanging out with you, nobody's going to see the RGB at the bottom of your chair. So I feel like that part of it is kind of useless, because if you fully load this chair, go with the chair for $580, RGB up here for $200 and some change, RGB at the bottom for $200 and some change, you're going to be at about $1,000 to $1,100 depending on whatever sale they got going on at the time. Right now, it's a little bit less than $1,000, but if you get every option, you're basically there. And that's a lot of money for a chair that costs 50% less without the RGB goodness. Maybe just get one of them, you end up around $700-800 or so. That's a little bit more reasonable, and I do think it's kind of cool. If you're a streamer and you're looking to get a little bit more flair on camera, I do think that having some RGB lights right here while you're sitting down is not necessarily the worst idea. It looks pretty cool, I would say. At least in the videos, it looks cool. I would like to see how bright it is in real life. But again, I just kind of wanted to get it for testing purposes as far as comfort. And I would give this chair a 6.5 rating as far as comfort, because this lumbar just needs to be a lot more adjustable. And the rest of the chair, quite honestly, is great. Like, you do have a locking mechanism if you don't want to lean too far back, but if you just unlock it real quick, you can definitely lean back very, very far. And on top of that, you can also, slide all the way back in the chair as well if you want to literally lean the backrest back and lean in the chair at the same time. Like, you could definitely take a nap with this chair. Like, it's definitely pretty comfortable. And honestly, that lumbar not being adjustable, it kind of makes my back feel a little bit more flat. So I could definitely pass out and take a nap just like this, and I would feel just fine, to be honest. I could nap like this for several hours and be cool, but I'll probably just get in the bed at that point. And if you're, at work in your office, this is probably not the best idea to be doing for long periods of time. As far as the adjustment range of leaning it forward, it does lean forward very far too. If you want to eat your monitor, this might be a much better position for you to, be in the chair. You will be aggressively lean forward, and you can probably lick your monitor. That's not something I would want to do, but just throwing it out there for all two of you who play games like that. And then your armrests, you do have quite a bit of range that you're going to be able to go up and down. You can also slide them forward and back as well. And then you can also slide them left to right as well with a pretty good range of motion. No complaints from the armrests, other than the fact that I do wish that these armrests went a little bit lower. They're nice, but what I find is that when I'm done sitting at my desk at night and I want to push my chair underneath my desk, I actually have to physically lower the chair from the bottom piston and change my seat height to slide my chair underneath my 28-inch tall desk. This is not a problem that I've had with other chairs, and I feel like that's just like a small missight where if it just had a little bit more adjustability as far as going lower with these armrests, that issue would be completely resolved. And as I'm like more talking about this, and even after using it for a little bit over a month, this chair, it's really nice. The color options that they have are fantastic. Comfort wise and build quality wise, build quality is excellent, comfort is decent. And for $580, or right now it's currently on sale for $480, it's a little bit of a hard pill to swallow after using it for a little bit over a month. And at that point, it's kind of when probably, 2 weeks in, buyer's remorse may or may not set in, and you might be a little bit more disappointed in your purchase if you're looking for a very adjustable chair in terms of some of the intricate details that maybe a different office chair would offer you. This is more like a premium run-of-the-mill-ish gamer chair. Automotive quality for the actual materials of the chair and the build quality. Let's get some automotive quality right here in the lumbar. This would be absolutely excellent, and I feel like that's the one thing that this chair is missing. It could do much better with that single adjustment, and quite frankly, I would probably make this my main chair. It's that close. Like this chair, if I had to grade it, I would give it a solid C, a 75% even for basically getting an A in every other category and getting like a 65%, which is basically a D, in the category of comfort. This, I wouldn't take off that many points for it, bumping into my desk. I maybe take off, 10 points for that. So maybe slightly a couple of points from the convenience factor. But otherwise, this chair in terms of quality and what you get is worth the price, but the comfort is the key thing. Vertagear, you're so close. Make those couple small adjustments and then easily have my recommendation for this chair, literally, because that system that I see in the DX Racer Craft was very good. Even though that chair, I didn't feel like it was quite worth the price as much as this chair that's also in a very comparable price range. But all right, you guys, that is going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed, feel free to drop a like and subscribe to the channel as well. Also, if you are interested in picking up the Vertagear PL4800 or any of the other Vertagear chairs, I will have an affiliate link in the description below that does support the channel. So would appreciate you shopping with us, or also be on the lookout for some of my other chair reviews in the future. I definitely have one more coming, and maybe I'll reach out to some companies to see who also has some pretty good options, and I can do like a huge chair roundup in comparison. Would love to do one of those and give you guys some good options. But I do want to thank you again for watching. I will see you in the next video.